Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. You guys have no idea the journey it has taken for us to get to this point where we can actually do a live today. Unfortunately, we attempted this 3 times, guys, 3 times. And aside from the 3 lives that we attempted to get the audio right, because we were having some serious issues with our audio, I also did 3 additional lives to actually do sound checks and video and audio checks with the members only area, so that when we finally do live or go live like we are now, we're actually going live because we can actually give you a show that's going to work and function. So guys, once again, and for the last time, because I think our audio is good now, I want to apologize to you guys for some of the hiccups that we've had in the show today. But I felt compelled to finish this show to give you guys the information that was brought to me by a really good viewer who noticed something that the rest of us didn't notice, right? So like I said in previous shows, and I'm not going to keep going back to say previous show. If you saw it and you're watching me now, pretend like you never saw it before, because we're going to run through it from beginning to end as though we never made this attempt 3 prior times, and 6 times in total if you count all the sound checks we did in the members only area. So like I said before, I've never heard any other YouTuber talk about this. And I'm not going to be saying, well, I'm the one who's telling you it, because I didn't think about it. I did not think about this. I didn't put 2 and 2 together like this viewer did. So we're going to definitely go on this journey, and we're going to try and figure out, did Jen Soto know? Now, there's 1,000 things we could talk about that could kind of like bring us to that point, like, hey, did Jen Soto know? Here are some examples. But this example is a pretty profound example. And so, guys, first, before we get to that, I want to take us on a little bit of a journey. A few things that Stephan Sterns says that has stood out to me. Aki pointed some things out. She listened. She's like, hey, check this out. And I listened to it. I was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. So we're going to jump into this. Big shout out to Grizzly True Crime. We're going to be using her video. You can go check it out on her website, on her YouTube channel. If you want to listen to these entire conversations without any commentary, she has it there as well. So you can listen to it with her commentary. You can listen to it without her commentary. And definitely you can listen to it without my commentary. But we're going to be taking snippets out. We're going to start at the 144 mark. And I believe what we want to hear is like around 145. But we started a little bit behind so that we can get some context as the conversation comes into play. Before we jump into there, I want to say a big shout out to all the members who have been patient, all the members who are helping me out with the sound and the audio check, etc., the video check inside the members only area. Thank you so much for supporting me, helping me get to the point where we could actually finish this show out tonight. I hope you guys like the audio. I'm using a old school sound mixer that I've had for years that was in storage. And when the big fancy sound mixer, this one that's dead now, it's not functional, went out on me, guess which one was working? Old Faithful over there is working. Old Faithful. So thank you so much for Old Faithful for stepping in and carrying in this burden of giving a sound on True Crime with Strategic. But big shout out to the members who show that love. So consider becoming a member of True Crime with Strategic Eyes so you can get the full experience of being a member of our show. And we have a Patreon as well. On our Patreon, we talk more personal. All right, you get your bonus content, but you get real and raw strategic. And I appreciate having that platform where I could talk to you guys as I see fit without having to feel like the YouTube moderation is on my back. And speaking about moderation, we have to say our spiel so that the YouTube gods can keep this show monetized. We are making this show for educational purposes. We will be talking about a heavy topic, but we are going to try our best to follow all of YouTube's monetization and terms of service. We're going to try and talk respectfully, but we will be using scientific and professional terms. Some of these things may trigger you. So viewer discretion is advised. What gives me the authority to talk to you guys on an educational level is I am an active duty special victims detective. I've been in law enforcement for 18 and a half years. I have my education in social work and criminal justice, where I have a bachelor's degree. I've worked for various police and corrections agencies, and I've got a lot of training and a lot of experience working massive cases, high-profile cases, some even historical cases. I've gone into some of those historical cases I've done, which have been a first in my municipality, and one was a first in New York State. We do not make content for children. My apologies. We do not make content for children. All of our content is for 18 and up. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, that being said, thank you so much for laboring through that with me, guys. You know we have to say that for YouTube. Let's jump into this, guys. Let's do it.
Basically, just as we were starting Sister Act.
Okay.
And that was just about bedtime.
What time is bedtime?
Usually 10:30, 11ish, something like that. It's a spectrum, not a set time.
Then, so who's going through the bedtime routine? Because I know Jennifer says she has somewhat of a little routine too that she does. Is it her? Are you talking about?
Jennifer's routine is, taking her meds, eating some food so that she can have the proper calories for the meds. And then she's got about an hour to do whatever she needs to do because she needs to fall asleep at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Her bedtime routine is taking her bedtime meds, brushing her hair. She should have showered that night. And then she goes to bed as well. Usually with some bombs or something on in the background. Bombs burgers.
All right, so we pointed this out before. Some of you guys have seen this before because, of course, this is a repeat show that we're finally getting right because we had to stop the other ones due to technical difficulties. But we spoke about how he speaks about Jen when he's talking about her bedtime routines. She's got to take a meds. She's got to eat food. She's got to eat the food with the meds, and she's got to get to bed. Matter of fact, it's almost like a home health aide talking about one of their patients. This is their routine. They get up, they brush their teeth. I clean them up. I pick out their clothes. I iron their clothes. I cook them breakfast, and then we take a walk in the park. Almost like a home health aide, believe it or not. That just popped in my head. That's how he talks about Jen. Let's see how he talks about Maddie.
Got it. What are the sleeping arrangements?
She sleeps in her.
Okay. Did she sleep in her bed Sunday night?
No. I was just back. I had been away for a couple months. In the same bed together,
So it's a lot of redaction, but he said me and Maddie slept in the same bed together. How can you say that with a straight face? I don't know. The least he could have did was pretend like that's not something they ever did before. I'm pretty sure he probably couldn't pretend like he didn't sleep in the bed with Maddie that night because guess what? Her own mother would vouch that they slept in the same bed because her own mother is the one that sent them to bed together. Remember, don't forget that. Jen Soto said, I sent them to bed because I needed my rest. I sent them to bed. It wasn't Stephan Sterns that said, I went to bed with her. He said it. He admitted that that's what they did, but he didn't say, I'm the one who ordered her to go to bed with me. I sent her to my bed so we could sleep together. Or I wanted Jen to have a good night's rest, so I went to bed with Matt. No, it has always been from day one, Jennifer Soto saying, I sent them to bed. And Stephan Sterns saying, I went to bed with her because mommy said she needed a good night's rest. But the ease by which those words roll off of these people's tongues, their fork-tipped tongues, shocks the conscience every single time. At least it shocks my conscience to hear it. For them, it's normalized. For them, it's okay. It's okay for a non-biological, on and off again boyfriend to sleep in the bed with this person. Madeline Soto. But whatever, let's keep going.
Get some serious sleep, so she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had a big enough bed, so some snuggle cuddle time that would suffice, and Jen would get to sleep in peace.
The cuddle time. Remember, guys, what I've noticed about Stephan Sterns is that he tells us his crime every single time, but he uses different words for it. And I think it's ingenious. I'm going to tell you why it's ingenious, guys. This is why Stephan Sterns is a diabolical, evil genius who's dumb at the same time. See, he's a genius, but he lacks common sense, which makes him the dumbest person in the room, because you could be book smart, which I'm not too sure he is, but I'll give him that deference. But that doesn't mean you're wise. It doesn't mean you're street smart. It doesn't mean you have the ability to implement that book smart into something practical. It just makes him a diabolical genius. In order for Stephan Sterns to keep his lies together, his lies straight, he has to disguise those lies with truths. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? It's hard for a liar to keep a complete lie straight. It's difficult. You got to remember something that never existed. It's better for you to take true events and twist them ever so slightly, and then you'll be able to keep track of that lie. So let's go down that rabbit hole. Cuddle time. What is cuddle time actually, ladies and gentlemen? We know what cuddle time is. Cuddle time is abuse. But he's not going to say, we went to bed and I abused her. He's not going to say that. He's going to say cuddle time. It sounds cute, innocuous. It sounds not a big deal. Something that parents do with their kids all the time, cuddle time. But that's not what he's doing. So he'll say cuddle time. What's another one, guys? Time to kill. Well, most of us say time to kill at some point in our life. Stephan Sterns doesn't own that word. There's a lot of things we can't say now because Stephan Sterns says it's illegal words now. Chat, what are some of the illegal words we can't say anymore because Stephan Sterns said it? I want to see if you guys paying attention. But he doesn't, we're not going to give him time to kill. People have been saying that forever and ever. But what does time to kill really mean? Aki, you can't participate. You like the model. You like the queen mod. But yes, meandering. Root beer candy. I love it. Janky. That's one of my favorite. Janky. You notice I never say janky because I hate it that much because Stephan Sterns uses it. Hoopty. Shambling. These are words that are illegal now. Purple dragon. They're illegal now because that's Stephan Sterns' words. But time to kill. What does time to kill really mean, ladies and gentlemen? Time to kill. He literally had time to kill Madeline. He literally had time to kill, but he disguises it like we woke up early and we had time to spare. But it's nothing about having time to spare. It was about time to kill. Just like cuddle time means time to abuse. The time that I abused her, that's cuddle time. He tells on himself while at the same time telling you the truth, while at the same time telling you a lie. It's deep stuff here, man.
Okay. So you say snuggle time. What does that mean?
So it's good that the police officer picked up on that. Snuggle time. What does that mean? Good job, police officer, detective. Let's go.
To be alone. She is extremely dependent. She does not like to be alone at all.
So then he justifies why he has to be so close on this girl. Why he has to cuddle with her. Why he has to share his body heat with her. Why he has to be next to her. He justifies it by saying, well, she's so dependent. She doesn't like to be alone. Like it's almost like it's a mental health condition that she's suffering from, requiring her to be next to him. But let's keep going.
She needs human presence around her. Simply.
much.
We've been trying to wean her off of that, but it's been difficult.
What?
I think he's on his way down too to help.
Gotcha. Okay.
I like that. Somebody said that he's a human service animal. At least that's what he's trying to sell himself to be. But yeah, I like that. Maddie needs me. I'm her blankie. You know, the little comfort thing, like the blankie? I'm her blankie. I'm her service animal. I'm her psychologist. I'm her psychiatrist. Well, Jen is her psychiatrist. All those meds she was prescribing. People say, Jen wasn't prescribing any meds, strategic. Jen is not a psychiatrist. And even if she was, she couldn't prescribe to her own daughter. You guys know I'm just joking, right? I'm just joking. We know that Jen took her somewhere and got her some prescriptions. Let's keep going.
Last I heard.
All right, so Jennifer says go up, so snuggle time with you to help her go to sleep. Is that right?
Just bedtime, yeah.
Bedtime. Okay. Did you stay in the room the entire night?
Not the entire night. I'm usually up and down sometimes. So I might go grab a drink or something, or yeah, I'm up and down sometimes.
Gotcha. But you didn't at any point go. Okay. All right. So night goes on, morning time comes around, and it's school. Walk me through that a little bit.
Excuse me.
I just picked up on that for the first time too when he said up and down. Good catch in the chat. One Love Revolutionary said that. He's setting the stage. He's setting the stage of that phony timeline story that he gave his parents. Well, I wasn't in the room. I didn't stay in there. I left. I didn't stay in there all night. He started that here in this interrogation room. That's where that story started. Told you guys he's diabolical. I told you that already. He's an evil genius that lacks common sense and street smarts. And the yawn is a defense mechanism right after that because he's not being truthful. Let's keep going. We're going to get to it.
Morning routine. She usually starts waking up. We set about 3 alarms. The first one goes off and we let her keep snoozing.
Do you remember what time her alarm goes off?
All right, so we're going to stop that there, and we're going to fast forward and get us closer to the finish line. I'm going to start at 10. We'll start at 9, kind of like lead us in there. Now, big shout out to Mallory Beavers, who's celebrating 9 months as a patrol member. Thank you so much. So kind of you. Let me go back, say what up to all my good people. Jamie MP, 6 months as a White Shield member. Thank you so much, Jamie. So very kind of you. She says, you're worth waiting through the technical difficulties. I appreciate you, Jamie. Thank you. Misty Bryan is now a recruit. New sign up to the show. Thank you so much, Misty, for showing that love. And we already gave some love to Mallory. You guys are definitely amazing and needed. Your support is needed. All right. So now we're about to segue into why we're here. But I'm going to be using some technology to do it. Instead of hitting the transition button up there, I'm going to do it right here. Oh, man, that worked. The problem is I'm going to have to relocate this stream deck up here so that I'm not going like this to do things. Let me test one more thing out. You guys know we testing stuff out because we got a new system, new computer, new everything. So let me just test one thing out. This is supposed to allow me to put something in the chat. Let me see if it'll allow me with one touch of a button to ask you guys to like in the chat. Let's see if that works. Oh, it works. I like that. It works. I could just type something and put in. I don't have to type anything. I just automatically press this one button on the stream deck and it works. Beautiful. I love it. All right. So it works. Hit that like button, guys. Somebody says you need a bigger desk. I need a bigger everything. I like the way that sound. Whatever. Let's keep going. Oh, one more thing. Let me test out the sound effects.
Does that make sense?
You guys heard that? Did that make sense? Let me know in the chat if you heard that. Does that make sense? Anyway, let's keep going. So what brought us here? What brought us here? Like I told you in the beginning of this show, and I've shouted this lady out like 6 times already now because we've had technical difficulties all day long, but finally we're here. We could give her the respect and the love that she deserved because she figured something out that I didn't even figure out. I didn't figure it out. And I haven't heard any other YouTubers talking about it, and I get that they're human just like me. They can't catch everything. And when I listened to her, it all made sense.
Does that make sense?
It made sense. It made sense that Stephan was trying to cover for if they found something in the phone, that it would not be his fault. It would be Maddie's fault. But when he's blaming Maddie for creating CSAM, ladies and gentlemen, for basically authoring and creating her own CSAM, when he's blaming Maddie for those photos and videos, he's implicating Jen Soto at the same time. He implicated Jen Soto at the same time. Aki hates when I repeat myself because she says it's horrible when I got to edit it for like the Strategic Eyes shorts. Because like I like to repeat, because I like to emphasize. It's not like I don't know what I want to say. I just want to emphasize to you that he implicated Jen Soto at the same time. So let's read out her comment. It's a little bit clearer, so I don't need to use my phone, but I'm going to get a little bit closer. So Kayla Alaria, if I'm saying her name correctly, said, so him bringing up an incident that occurred with a phone when Maddie was younger, could it just be JS had seen a photo that SS took of Maddie and SS played it off as though Maddie grabbed his phone and took the pictures herself? He was not shy about this comment in multiple interviews, so it must have happened. And JS, being the dummy she is, believed him at the time. So we're going to start playing because we didn't dive into that. We're going to hear him tell that story. Now, I got to say, this is all alleged. There is no evidence that Jen Soto had any information that this abuse was happening. We all believe it, but that's just our opinions. According to William J., everything that Jen Soto did prior to that derivative use immunity is just dirt under the bridge. That's what he said, at least. And according to sources in law enforcement, if you believe what the news said, they stated that there's no evidence that Jen Soto engaged in any type of support or knowledge of the abuse that Maddie was going through or her unaliving. There's no evidence of it. They said they're still investigating, but there's no evidence. And if there was evidence, they would have brought charges. That's what law enforcement said. So I just have to say that this is just my opinion. It's obviously the opinion of Kayla as well. And everything that we say moving forward and prior to this was just alleged, and it will continue to be alleged in the absence of facts. So now let's get started. Let's bring it back. And let's listen with our own ears. I was about to go press the transition, but it's just easier to do it here until I move that stream deck up here. It doesn't make sense to use it. But anyway, let's keep going.
If I got time to kill, I'll just drive around.
So I had time to kill just driving around. We just popped in and he says, I had time to kill. I was just driving around. What was he doing? Maddie was dead. She was in his trunk. Remember when we had the whole debate of did he bring Maddie with him to the vape shop? My answer was yes, because the news reported and they still haven't backed down on whether Maddie was on some news statement that they said that they had allegedly. Some people believe that they're misconstruing statements. Some people like myself believe that it's possible that they could have a statement that nobody else has because we have not received all of the FOIA requests and all of the discovery in the case. But they reported that he changed his story and said that he took Maddie with him to the vape shop. And I said, you know what? Let's not quarrel over this, YouTube. Let's not argue over this. Let's not debate over it. Because at the end of the day, Maddie was with him when he went to the vape shop. But instead of being in the passenger seat, which is debatable, we can't debate on whether she was in the car because she was in the car. She was in the trunk. So he just said, I had time to kill. I was driving around. That's Stephan Sterns doing double speak yet again, ladies and gentlemen, because he did have time to kill because he killed Maddie and she was in the trunk at that time. But let's keep going. Listen for that double speak when this man talks, guys. He thinks he's smart, but he's not that smart.
So you're saying when she had her backpack, presumably her school computer was in her backpack, and you described...
Oh, this is really good. This one went over my head because I was so pissed off with the way they were interrogating him later on that I didn't even pick up that they just locked him into a really good statement, because we know that Maddie's backpack and Maddie's laptop was in the trash. And he's locking him in right now to say that Maddie had her backpack and her computer with her in the car with him. That's an excellent interrogation right there. That little snippet right there, that little line of questioning, excellent. Locked Stephan Sterns into a lie. Excellent. Let's keep going.
Her wearing a green jacket, some kind of dark colored shorts, and white Crocs. Okay. Well, I can confidently tell you she did not go to school with her backpack.
How's that?
Because we found it in the trash.
Boom. Oh, hell no. Boom.
So, Stephan, here's what I'm asking you.
Oh, my God.
Is to dig down and do some soul searching.
Look how Stephan Sterns is looking at this guy. This is the first time in that entire interrogation that Stephan Sterns started looking at this guy. He just aged 20 years right before our very eyes. He just aged 20 years right before our very eyes. Because he got caught. Let's keep going.
You understand? Family's pleading with you. I'm pleading with you because this is that we need to find, and it's, as more time goes by, it's tough. I have kids, he's got kids, and this little girl's out there somewhere that we need to know where. And I really, really, really think you can help us. I mean, you want to get something off your chest. I don't know what it is, but I'm pleading with you.
I don't know. I don't.
What happened?
I dropped her off.
Where?
I dropped her off on the road to school.
Right, so you're supposed to challenge him at this point because you already caught him in a lie. You're not supposed to let that lie go. That's interrogation 101. You're supposed to keep hitting them with that. Like, well, Stephan, why is her book bag in the garbage, Steph? Why is her computer in the garbage? You say you dropped her off, but we know you didn't drop her off. There's no evidence you dropped her off, man. I'm trying to help you. Do the right thing. I tell people all the time, this stuff works. It really does. How do I know it worked? Because we do it every single day. But let's keep going because we're about to get to the crushes part. And that's a big part I want us to listen to. And right after that is the moment that we want, that we've been here for. Let's keep going.
That was the last I saw her.
Sometime throughout the night on Sunday, did you guys have any interaction, conversations?
What, like fight?
No, I'm not saying fight. I'm just... Did you guys sit up and talk, or...?
We talked while I was making ramen. She was excited about her choir performance coming up. She was singing a little bit. I told her it was pretty. It reminded me of Sister Act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about a crush she had on the boy.
Crushing on the boy. Crushing on the boy. Crushing on the boy. Let's go back. Where we at? We're at 21203. 212. Let's do 47.
Choir performance coming up. She was singing a little bit. I told her it was.
She had choir performance where she had to perform. They had like the testing thing. I forgot what it's called. There was a special name for it. We were talking about that for a while. I'm sorry, I forget what the name was. But what is significant about it? This choir performance, it was like a regional testing. It wasn't like a regular concert. It was kind of like just a testing for choir. Who's a choir director? Who was the teacher that was teaching that? Oh, if you didn't know, it's a man that's currently in federal custody facing decades in prison for abusing kiddos online. Another PT file. Isn't that crazy? Madeline's passing exposed so many pedophiles. 2 pedophiles so far in that school went down within the year of Madeline passing. 2 pedophiles within a year of Madeline passing. Isn't that insane? What is the odds of that? 2 men, no prior convictions or allegations of pedophile behavior. Within 12 months of Madeline passing, 2 of them facing federal charges. Not even state and local. Both of these guys separate so far, not connected so far, according to the evidence, according to what the law enforcement say, are facing multiple years in federal custody for engaging in that stuff. And a third one, who is Madeline's mommy's boyfriend, no relation to Madeline whatsoever, is facing capital punishment for what he did to her. Anyway, let's keep going for the crushes.
Pretty reminded me of Sister Act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about a crush she had on the boy.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. She knows she's not old enough to date, but you know.
You see that? You see that? Look at that body. Fine. She knows she's not old enough. That was personal. Did he move this entire time? Did he move? We're at 21209. 21209. I just pull it back. Boom. I can't go back that far. Look at it. Boom. I just pulled it back. 147.
So I might go grab a drink or something.
Is he moving? No. Barely moving. Let's go 202. You can't hear it because they redacted it, but barely moving. Let's go. Here, what over here? 150.
But we leave the house. We start making our way to the school.
Barely moving. Let's go back even further. 140.
Do you understand these rights? Okay, perfect.
He nods and says he understands. His head moves, but his body's not moving. Now let's go back to 212. 21203. Let's go back here. 212.
She had on the boy.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. She knows
See
she's
that?
not
He makes eye contact with crushing on a boy with the detective, and he's got swag now. He got swag like he talking about a grown woman, like he talking about somebody. Yo, your wife is very beautiful, man. You never afraid of people hitting on your wife. And the guy goes, nah, man, I'm not afraid of that. That's my woman. That's my wife. She loves me. Nah. He gives us one of those for little Maddie. He gives us one of those for little Maddie, like he's talking about his woman. Let's keep going.
enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush. That's healthy.
Do you think, had she had any boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was too young, needed to avoid that BS.
All right, being that she's too young, so she shouldn't be having sex with boys. You're saying?
She's all the that stuff. None of it counts. None of it's real. I just told her she'd be better off waiting till high school.
Mm-hmm.
So this was also a really good statement by the detective where he picks up on, she's too young for boys. And he says, well, she's too young to be having intercourse, right? I like that because you know what he's doing to her. So you're kind of challenging him to basically denigrate himself.
She's not old enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush, that's healthy.
Do you think, has she had any boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was...
Once again, first time his hands come from underneath those armpits, and we know that Stephan Sterns barely takes showers. There's no shame in his game. He'll tell you. We know that he barely took showers when he was free because he said, I took a shower like 3-4 days ago. And we know that he doesn't take showers while he's in prison because we saw his prison documents and he skips showers days on end. He doesn't like taking showers. He's afraid to drop the soap, but he didn't mind picking Maddie's soap up all those years. Sorry to be so crass, but unfortunately, it's reality. So the first time he take those arms from underneath those stinky armpits, we know those armpits haven't been bathed in days. The first time he takes those arms from under those armpits is when he's talking about boys. Boom, boom, boom. He's animated. Hands is going crazy. He's talking with his hands, angel fingers, the whole nine. When he's talking about boys and talking about Maddie. I'm telling you, he thought that this young girl was his woman. I'm telling you, this was his woman. This was his woman. That's what he thought.
It might have been a sister act. That's why I wanted to show her that movie. Just talking about a crush she had on the boy.
How'd that make you feel?
Fine. She knows she's not old enough to date, but I told her crush on. Get your crush, that's healthy.
Do you think, has she had any boyfriends in the past?
Not per se, boyfriends as however they can be early on, but we decided that she was too young, needed to avoid that BS.
All right, being that she's too young, so she shouldn't be having sex with boys.
She's all the that stuff. None of it counts. None of it's real. I just told her she'd be better off waiting till high school.
Has she ever talked to you about boys?
A little bit sometimes.
Has she ever, because I asked Jennifer the same thing, has she ever disclosed to you about being sexually active with boys?
No.
Do you know if she's ever been sexually active with anybody in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
Guys, please hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. We're about to get to the comment right now. Please hit that like button, support the channel.
I heard there was some sort of incident when she was much younger.
Is it right here? There's some sort of incident when she's a lot younger. Let me bring it back just a tad bit because I said something. I told you to hit the like button. I want you to get full context. So let's bring it back. 12:53.
Has she ever, because I asked Jennifer the same thing, has she ever disclosed to you about being sexually active with boys?
No.
Do you know if she's ever been sexually active with anybody in the past?
Not that I'm aware of. I heard there was some sort of incident when she was much younger where she did something with the phone or a camera but got scolded for it. She was very young. She didn't know. She got scolded for it though. It's vague. It's just remembering what someone said offhand.
So he's recalling what he was told by Jen Soto. That's what he's saying. I think they redacted Jen's name. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm believing. And he's saying there's something that happened with that phone. What happened with the phone? We know what happened with the phone. We know what he's trying to say. We know what he's trying to do. He's trying to deflect. He's trying to say, if you saw a picture or something like that on my phone, they're on to me. They already know that the book bag and the laptop is in the garbage. They know that. They know I didn't drop her off. They know what's on my phone. I know they know it. That's why I'm sitting in this room with concrete walls and a terrible mic and audio and video recording system. Actually, the video's not that bad. It's the audio that's bad. They're on to me. I got to start crafting the narrative. I got to stare the narrative. If you see something on the phone, I don't know if you saw something on the phone because you haven't told me about it yet. But if you saw something on the phone, I didn't do it. She did it. And she got scolded for it. She got scolded for it. And I only know what I'm being told. So if Jen Soto told you that she saw something in my phone, it's because Maddie took my phone and took a picture of herself doing something she shouldn't have been doing. And she got scolded for it by her mother. But what is he telling us, ladies and gentlemen? He's telling us that Jen knew. He's telling us Jen knew. Jen knew about the phone. She knew about the picture or video. They don't specify whether it's a picture or a video or both. And she scolded Maddie for it because she was very young and she did something with the phone. And I don't know. I only know what Jen is telling me. And Kayla Larrera picked up on that subtle little thing. We were all just so enamored with all his lies and deflections. We didn't even really think it fully through. But she picked up on it. So big shout out to Kayla. You picked up on it. You did that. Not strategic. She did it. He's saying that Jen knew. Now, this is a question because my memory escapes me. And sometimes it defeats me. I can't tell the difference sometimes if it's escaping or defeating, but it ain't good no more. I don't recall Jen Soto ever telling a story. My question to you, chat, to you detectives out there, baby detectives. Did Jen Soto ever tell this story? Did she ever acknowledge that there was an incident when Maddie was younger with a telephone? I don't believe that she ever told that story, but maybe I missed something. Did she? I want you guys to look into that for me. People are saying no. I don't think so either. But we know that Stephan Sterns has told this story multiple times. At least 2 times I heard him tell this story. One outside, one inside the interrogation room. If my memory doesn't defeat me yet again. But he tells this story. He tells this story. Let me go to the chat real quick. I want to definitely say what up to you guys. Big shout out to Mia M says, you are amazing. $2 super chat from Dr. Cataclysm says his cadence is similar to a guilt-ridden child. There's a lot of things about him that is very immature. I agree 100%. And I see we have a 5 gift membership from Dr. Cataclysm as well. For all of you guys who are lucky enough to get that gift membership, please make sure that you thank Dr. Cataclysm. He's very kind and very generous for doing that. He doesn't have to. Didn't have to be that generous, and we appreciate him. Steep stuff here, man. Real deep. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Just for a little bit more.
All right. What happened to your hand?
Flat tire.
Oof.
I haven't changed a flat tire in about 10 years, so I made a rookie mistake and had my thumb too close to where the jack and the frame meet. Mm-hmm. And it slipped, and the frame came down on my thumb and pinned it between the jack, which I feel like I got off surprisingly light with that.
Ouch.
All right, so now we get into the whole car thing. Guys, I don't know. We're not going to listen to the rest of this. We've evaluated this conversation before. We wanted to come here and give you a targeted view of what we were talking about as to why Jen may have known, because there's a possibility that Jen may have seen an image of Maddie in a compromising position that Stephan Sterns may have explained away as Maddie. We're trying to watch our words here. I apologize. Most of the time you see me trip up on my words is because I don't want to say a word that is not allowed. But there's a possibility that she may have seen something. He explained it a way that she did it herself, and then she kind of was like, okay, Stephan, whatever you say, okay. I'm going back to bed now. And then she went ahead and scolded Maddie for it. When in all actuality, the person who was probably taking the picture, of course, was Sterns. Now, there's no evidence of this. I got to say this again. There's no evidence. All we know is what Stephan Sterns is saying to the police. So it's all alleged, and it's just my opinion. But it's my opinion that's being informed by what Stephan Sterns has said on multiple occasions. And if what he says holds truth, that means there's a good possibility this woman saw something untoward. What did she do about it? Well, only God knows. Unless, of course, you believe Sterns, of which he would say that Maddie was chastised for it. She was disciplined for it. And that's all he knows. And most of what he knows is from what Jen Soto told him. If you believe Stephan Sterns. Anyway, guys, I was going to do a call-in show. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties with it because I have to switch over to Microsoft Teams because Skype is being discontinued. So anybody out there who's a Skype fan, pretty soon Skype will be no more. It will no longer be an entity that you can use for your video calling pleasures, okay? But we'll get that up and running soon. We're slowly but surely working out all the kinks and bugs. When you're streaming, it's a very delicate process. Everything has to be right. You know, all your settings have to be good. Oftentimes, as creators, when we update our computers with Microsoft updates that are necessary for your computer, graphics updates, OBS updates, what ends up happening, it changes your settings on your computer. It's just bananas. And then you end up coming to do a live stream. You think everything is the way it should be, and boom, it's not working. It's not working. So that happened to us today. So I really want to thank you guys. We have over almost 800 people joined us for this stream. And that means a lot to me because this is our 6th attempt to get this stream right today. 3 of them were done live for everybody to see. I took those videos down, so if you try and find them, you won't see them. But 6 of them in total, and also including using the members only area to help me test out the equipment and work out all the bugs and the kinks. So you guys were very, very, very patient with me. Somebody says, is this the new computer? Yes, it is. And that's why we were having those bugs, because it's a new computer. So all the settings are new. I have to go in there. There are things that I don't know that I need to change, that I changed before and didn't have to think about it for years. And now I have to rethink about those things because it's a new computer that needs to be set up in the same way. So it doesn't matter what computer you get. If it's new to you and you're a content creator and a streamer, it's going to take time for those bugs to get worked out. So I'm rambling to say thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for coming back, checking out the content now that we got it right. And we do appreciate you. You guys are amazing. You guys are great, man. Big shout out to Bex UK1 says, thank you at True Crime Strategic and Mods and all of our strategic family friends sending blessings from the UK. Appreciate you showing love across the pond. You are amazing. To all the members out there, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for assisting me earlier. You guys were great. To all the Patreon, I see you guys over there. I'm definitely going to do some Patreon content. And yeah, we're trying to crank out as many videos as possible. Just know that for this week coming up, we will definitely still be dropping content, but the content will be at the nighttime like this because I'm working day tours next week. So that means I won't be able to do lives until the nighttime. So look for some late night shows, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock, because I got to do my overtime. So I won't be coming home until late. And if I do decide to come home early for whatever reason, you'll get an earlier live. But we will not be doing any morning shows unless it's some premiere that I taped the night before or something like that. Just know next week is going to be evening shows, okay? So look out for that. Make sure that you're all your subscriptions are set to all, your notifications are set to all, so that when I drop a video or when I'm going live, it'll notify you and you can come join us, be a part of the family. There's a few things I'm looking into. We're going to be covering that teacher. I never covered that story. We got the thumbnail and everything. I never covered it. The teacher who abused one of her students. And then when the dragnet started coming in on her, she started talking about, oh, he's a stalker. Oh, woe is me, you know? Yeah, all right, we're going to cover you on True Crime with Strategic. And also somebody sent me an autistic boy who apparently was involved in a police-involved use of force. I don't have any information on it. I just see the email that came up. I'm going to read it and see if I'm going to cover it. I can't give any guarantees, but I definitely love when you guys give me tips. So if it's a good story and I feel like I could sink my teeth into it, I will definitely cover it. Understand, guys, that I cover things that for some reason click with me, right? I just can't cover a story like so many other YouTubers are able to do. I don't feel authentic when I do it. I have to cover stories that affect me, that I feel something when I talk about it, you know, that somehow activates the passion in my soul. So you might have two stories that are very similar, and I just, one is it's clicking with me and the other one is not, and I'm not going to cover something that's not clicking. So everything that I cover on this show is stories that resonate with me for whatever reason, and it doesn't mean that the other stories aren't important. It's just a personal preference. It makes me feel comfortable when I'm on this stage here talking to you guys. So keep that in mind. I can't cover every story, but I please do keep sending those tips, because those tips are what make this show move forward. I can't find out everything on my own. My research crew can't do it either. We need your help. So keep sending the tips. Send them. You see an article that's interested, send it. We'll never be upset with you. We'll never be upset that you have sent us 40 emails. If you're sending 40 emails of tips, you are a benefit to the show, not an annoyance. Not at all. Keep sending those tips, guys. So anyway, we'll end it here, guys. All right, let me get that outro. It's the first time we're using the outro. Hopefully it'll work as good as the intro. I just finally uploaded it. This is the first time we're going to be using the outro again since the old computer. So let's get it going. Let's rock it out. Let's do it. All right. Strategic is out of here. Peace. All right, I'm not even being funny. Usually sometimes at the end of the show I'll pop in and say something funny. This is actually very serious. Can you guys tell me how the outro sounded? Because remember, we're testing this stuff out. So if you just do me a favor, anybody who's left, we still got like 550 something people left. Let me know if the outro sounded good. All right. Erica B says it sounds good. All right. Dennis says sounded great. Perfect. All right, guys. Have a great night. I appreciate you. Thanks.